Hey guys, welcome to Comic Night by Z's number 26. 26. Wow. Exactly halfway through the year. Pretty nice. It is pretty nice. All right, we got a pretty good little shows for you tonight. We got our usual 8. We tried not to overburden ourselves, especially this past week has been pretty trying. So we're just gonna start it off. We're gonna start off with the honorable mention: Superman: The World on sale this week. If you guys don't know what this is, it is a bunch of short stories, short comic stories written by various teams from across the world. There's a Spanish team, there's an Italian team, there's a Siberian. Yes. Are there 15 actual?
Yeah,
15 actual stories.
Yeah, this is actually the stories you get right here.
Oh, nice. Okay, so there's 15 different stories based on various teams throughout the world. Like I said, Spanish team, Japanese team, French team, stuff like that. They get together and they make stories about certain characters and what those characters mean in those countries. About accurate?
That's just about. Some of them are just nice little stories as well,
Like told through a different lens, though. So it's pretty cool.
Yes, different art.
Yeah. All right. So you might be familiar with it from Batman the World and Joker the World. Well, Superman the World, it just released this past week. So tell us a little bit about it, Thunder.
So you start out pretty much like you said. You got 15 little stories here. You start off with the United States story, which is Superman. I don't want to say fighting a big monster, a big alien monster. He's dealing with a big alien monster. Okay, every story in here is very it's really touching.
Yeah,
like just about every story is like, oh, nice,
like exceedingly well written.
Yes, like some of the art on here, just not my style, but it's all nice. Like you can see the culturalness of each one. You got from the United States one, it's very nice, cut and dry. Go to the Spain one. The Spain one, honestly, might be one of my top ones from this entire one. So
the Spanish one, if I remember right, is Jorge Jimenez, and you actually read a lot of his stuff through Nightwing and the Batman books. So yeah,
this one is very nice because it's Superman has lost his powers due to something that he's due to saving a meteorite that had some kryptonite on it. So he's lost his powers and it's taken him 6 hours to come back. And it's just such a nice one because he falls down in not the North Pole. He falls down somewhere near Spain, and Batman sends him a cab to take him to a town just so he can chill. He's like, you got 6 hours, man, until the sun recharges you. So yeah, I'll just send you a cab and there you go. But he didn't send him a change of clothes though. So he's just walking around in a Superman outfit. And there's even moments where a little girl's like, look, it's Superman, telling her parents. And her parents are just like, nah, that's just a dude in a suit. He's like, well, I'm actually Superman. I really am. He's like, all right, fly for us. I can't right now. It's him with there's actually a reason for that, but it's a long story. And so that one is just really nice. It's
kind of funny.
They got that, and then I'm not going to spoil the ending, but there's other parts, but it's also kind of funny too, because at a certain point his powers do come back, and Batman's talking to him over their Justice League intercom, and he's all like, maybe I got the calculations wrong. And he's like, oh yep, I did. He's like, the calculations are based off of Gotham weather. It's a lot of clouds. So yeah, there's that. The Italy one gets kind of whoa, just because it deals with what's his name? Dante. Yeah, it deals with Dante's Inferno sort of thing.
Okay.
And it plays off of the whole 700 years ago, the guy he predicted 700 years after his death, gates of hell are going to open up and everything. And so it deals with Superman just straight diving in because Lois fell in, and it's
oh snap.
It gets very
what is it with Lois and just falling in stuff?
That one is definitely the one that's kind of whoa, very creepy. It gives you some little whoa, some chills and whatnot.
Be honest, did she jump?
No, it just fell. The thing goes in and then she fell. Yeah.
This chick likes to fall. She likes to jump off of things all the time. I just want to make sure. Was it her fault?
But yeah, a lot of the stories, to kind of sum up, it's I could honestly go through each one by one because I enjoyed pretty much every single one of them. But to like sum up, you got the stories that are just like a lot of them are teaching Superman like, hey, just because you can come in and do things, we also have certain ways of doing things as well. Because he runs into a lot of basically that country's version of a Superman. And that person's being like, hey, I get it, you really want to help people, but sometimes you got to leave it to us. Like, let me do this. You don't have to do that. It gets a lot of moments like that. A lot of just like really down chill moments too as well. Just kind of like plain Jane ones where he doesn't really fight anybody. He's just having a conversation with them to learn certain things.
I do like those types of stories.
Yes.
Like where they just not I forget the word for it. Basically, what they do in their downtime, I like that a lot of superheroes don't always have to throw punches.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, I'm there for the action. I love comics with action, but sometimes you just want to see. There's an entire series dedicated to Superman doing a walkabout pretty much across the United States, and that is an intensely amazing story.
Yes.
And it was just like it was like, to me, one of my favorite Superman stories.
I think because of that, you would really like my top two in this are if I were to pick top two, mine would be between Spain and Brazil. And like Brazil one is just, that's where you get like a little teaching of like, there's no really action. Like, he tries to throw a punch at one point, but nothing really happens, and it just goes down to him talking to who he's talking to. But that one is basically just like, hey, you ever thought, what if you landed exactly where you landed, but like 200 years before, and learned everything then, and you didn't get this sort of outcome and whatnot? Basically, again, talking to like what could be that Brazil's country version of a Superman, and him just being all like, my people are gone, bro. Like, the people I was protecting, they're gone now. I couldn't do anything because that one centers around a certain artifact that was stolen, and it was stolen from basically that like Superman person, and he couldn't be who he was anymore without that. So he like steals it back and whatnot. That one is very nice. And then to end on, because I know I'm kind of getting here, I could talk about this one so much. It's just really good. It's a funny way that it ends on is because the last story is the Japanese story, and right after, like, let's see, the Czech Republic is the story before that. Right after the Czech Republic, you turn the page and you get hit with the, hey, this is the end of the book, you're reading the wrong way, so you have to turn to the end of the book.
Oh, that's because the last one is a chapter from Superman Meshi, right? So if y'all guys don't know, Superman Meshi is actually a manga, one of DC's manga, where it's Superman lunchtime. I believe that's Superman food, I think is what the literal translation is.
The whole thing is him talking about how he really likes Japanese food, but the only part he doesn't like about it is, since at this moment he's like, Lois doesn't know he's Superman, he can't enjoy Japanese food with Lois because he likes to fly to.
Oh, he likes straight up Japanese food.
Yeah, okay. He goes straight to Japan, and he's just like,
Metropolis cuisine just don't cut it.
He's like, it's just sad because right now, since Lois doesn't know who I am, I can't do this with her. But one day I will. And that one that's pretty cool. It's a nice, fun story, and it's just funny because, like, you know, you flip the page and then you got to hear, wait, this is actually the end of the book, so you got to go to the end of the book.
That's pretty cool. That is cool. Yeah. So bottom line for us, man, what do you give it?
Bottom line, I love it. 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
like, I enjoy it.
All right.
I've read a little bit of the other, like, Batman in the World and Joker in the World, and this one is my favorite.
Yeah.
Just because, like, all the other ones are done really well too, but I just like, this one's very heartfelt for me, and I like that. You know, Superman stories where a lot of it is just, you know, taken down a notch, not necessarily any fighting or, you know,
like world-ending events or anything?
like big world-ending things. It gets down to the nitty-gritty, the hope of Superman. Like, that's what all this is. Superman is the shining example of hope.
A lot of stories don't do that these days. They always, like, turn them into this, you know, they basically Man of Steel the thing. And, dude, that was never Superman. A lot of people these days think that was Superman because that was their first interaction with a Superman property, but dude, Christopher Reeve, the Tim Daly Superman show, like these basically like the embodiment of hope and stuff like that. Like I think there's a storyline where the avatars pick what they are, and the Endless accident oh man, I can't remember which one it was. Despair accidentally created the universe's greatest symbol of hope, Superman, by instigating the destruction of Krypton. And his Despair's motivation was to create more despair, more destruction, and more like that negative energy, so that way he could feed off of it. But he instead like put himself on a timer where wherever Superman goes, bam, hope, beams of hope, and he's like, damn. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that. All right, guys, that about does it for the honorable mention. We are moving on to the regular stuff right now. First up, we're going to be talking about Pale Knight number 2. That's this one right here. Now, Pale Knight number 2 starts off with the main character and his squire leaving his home, leaving his son, his sick son, so that way he can accomplish Death's basically assassination deal. And along the way, the squire is pretty much just talking into his ear, like, did you really make a deal with Death? And like is he really going to save your son, kind of thing? And the Crusader just like, you know what? I don't know. I don't believe. I lost my faith in God. How am I gonna, like, how do I believe in this guy? And it's just it's him trying to find his faith to save his son, but in the end, messing up a deal that he made. He's basically just seeing the nitty gritty of the world around him, and he is just having a terrible crisis of faith. Now he's just completely freaking out because now he can't even be sure that what he saw, what deal he made, is an actual thing.
Especially when he starts finding out, like, you find out a little bit more about the person that he's supposed to go and take out. And it adds to his turmoil because everything you hear about it is like, this dude is a 100% great guy.
Nothing but glowing recommendations from the entire populace.
Down a saint. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very nice. It is a nice one to...
I like how, even at the end with that twist ending, you're not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Because earlier in the issue, something happens that you're not entirely sure actually happens, because it immediately cuts to another scene where he's doing something completely different, and you don't know how reliable of a narrator he is, how reliable the point of view is, because he's our point of view, he's our entry into this story, and we're just not entirely sure what's going on there. So yeah, I greatly enjoyed it, but I think that the rest of what we got here was actually better than this. Yeah. So I gave this one a positive 3 out of 5. I'm really looking forward to where issue 3 heads and see what's going on there. What about you?
I enjoyed it. Like, a good 3 out of 5. There's nothing like bad with it that would make you just be like, I don't think it was worth it. So like, I like it. Yes, still interesting to see where it's going with the ending. Solid stuff, man. Solid stuff here. So 3 out of 5, Pale Knight number 2. Definitely worth picking up. Moving on, this is a new one. Don't Forget Your Briefcase number 1. Now, this one right here follows... yeah, you can go on. This one right here follows a couple people. One is a colonel in the Marines. She is tasked with carrying the nuclear football. If you don't know what that is, it is the satchel that the president always has next to him just in case, war were declared. And also a single mother to a kid who just wants to be left alone. Like, he's being bullied and he stops him. And then there's a twist. I'm not even going to tell you what the twist ending is because I didn't see it coming. I knew there was going to be a twist ending, but I did not see that twist ending coming.
90% of this one is all setup, but it's not really bad setup. It's not uninteresting. The Colonel seems to have a penchant for puppets, and I don't know how that's going to play into the story later. I think it's just going to make her relatable, I guess, which is weird because puppets freak me out.
It's marine humor, man.
I get. Is it marine humor?
It's a marine. It seems very marine humor
With puppets?
I mean, they're into some strange. They can get into whatever, but it's like the humor
I'm
through
call the Marines I know and ask them if they're into puppets.
But like the humor through the puppet.
The humor through the yes.
The humor through the puppet is like, oh, like I'm not necessarily saying like all Marines are into puppets. I'm just saying like they get into what they get into, and then. You know,
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm still gonna ask them. Like hey, Daniel, man, you into puppets?
Daniel got into HeroClix and all that stuff. He got that humor. My buddy Raleigh got into weather. So
Jedi. Oh wait, no.
Jedi's Army.
Is he Marine?
No, he's Army.
Army. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm just saying, they get into stuff, but the humor she was putting, the stuff she was saying through the puppet, very Marine.
Yeah, it was very Marine humor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I am looking forward to where issue 2 goes. For me, it was borderline a 2 until the twist ending, and then that twist ending just elevated it up to a very positive 3, to where I'm like, I gotta see where this is going. I just gotta. So I'm giving this one a very positive 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5, just a solid 3 out of 5. The ending, while very like wow at times, especially because of what happens to a certain person, I could still feel like you knew a twist was gonna have to come with this kind of thing.
Also, that scene I was not expecting.
That one was like wow.
I was like,
that's particular one.
Mind blowing.
Very mind blowing. Mm-hmm. It's not the way to get ahead in life. It'll no longer be the head of a major corporation. It's not very headstrong.
That's enough.
I forgot the rest.
I forgot he did like 4 or 5 of them, right?
Like 4 or 5, yeah, in Austin Powers. But yes, like it's very nice. I'm like the twist is pretty like wow, it's pretty good. But at the same time, just because of the fact that I was like, okay, you knew a twist was gonna have to come, it's still a nice 3 out of 5 for me.
Nice.
Nice 3 out of 5.
Alright, we are moving on to
M&M's.
Predator versus
Sorry.
Predator versus Spider-Man number 3. So this one right here picks up immediately where the last one left off, where the honor-bound Yautja have arrived on Earth.
Yes.
This one right here has them searching for the clan list, the dishonored, the Skinner, as the humans call it. And
Skinner.
Skinner. Oh man, you got me doing it now. So this one right here is the entire thing was too quick for me, and it was too quick in that there wasn't a lot of action, but it felt sped through, and it didn't really make me like go, "Oh man, this is so cool." You know what I mean? Like,
I feel what you mean. It was like
the last one did.
Compared to the other two,
this one's kind of meh.
Like, it did feel shorter. Like, compared to the other two, it felt like we went through everything pretty quick. Like, it's still Predators, so I still enjoyed it. Especially the little parts where you actually get the, like, fight between Spider-Man and the other 3. Like, that was very nice. But I feel what you mean. Like, this is kind of like...
like I said, it felt very sped through. It didn't really expand on a whole lot. And the little piece with Mary Jane and her friend in the sewers, that one right there is just... I felt it could have been a much longer comic.
Like, I honestly thought...
Well, not much longer. Like, at least 2 or 3 pages worth more. And I think it could have expanded enough to include things. Supposedly, the next issue is going to be the last one because it's said to be concluded at the end.
I thought it said continue.
I thought it said... I'm
pretty sure it said...
I'm pretty sure it said concluded.
Because if so, it's gonna be a very fast ending then. Because it seems like they set up so much other things
like,
too.
I honestly don't think it was worth the $4.99 price tag. Yeah, see, to be concluded.
Oh, concluded! Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be a very wow.
So I think all of the other ones were 4 issues as well. I know a lot of people were into like praising Wolverine.
The Wolverine one was nice.
Yeah, I sold out of it before I could read it.
Especially because of like just the fact of the Wolverine one. It's like they've been doing this for years. They always come back for Wolverine. So, yeah,
Like he's their training dummy or something.
something like that. Or it's just like because like the first time, if I remember correctly, they like he meets him in Vietnam and gets he meets him in like cowboy time, gets wrecked. But then, like, he's Wolverine, he comes back. So the Predator's just like, what the heck, bro? And just like, keeps coming back for him. It's like an endless thing.
That's kind of funny.
But yeah, this one is nice.
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, just about. This one is nice. It's pretty good. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 as well. But just for the fact that it's Spider-Man, Predators, I enjoy a lot of that stuff more. That's kind of why I decided I feel like we put it above the other two. Admitted some biasness there.
Honestly, while I was explaining everything about it, I got to change my grade to it. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5.
Ooh.
I'm not saying it's not worth a pickup.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I did not enjoy it as much as issues 1 and 2. And I think it could have been better if it was a little bit longer. Also, the price tag on it, $5, and I felt like it should have been longer.
Yeah.
The other ones were $5. The first issue, I believe, was $7.99.
Yeah,
maybe $6.99. But then issue 2 was, I want to say $4.99, and then this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it did seem like a lot of stuff was sped through, like the subway thing, as you were saying. I thought that was gonna go on a little bit longer than it did. Like I thought that was gonna be like, okay, they're gonna be these Mary Jane, her friend, and the homeless guy are gonna be like Scooby-Dooing their way through the subway system, trying to stay away from them, and then Spider-Man's gonna come in.
And the setup in 1 and 2 with Kraven, like he's in one scene in here, and it was basically just like he throws something and he's like, and he runs away.
He's just we're staying in dark. The power's staying in the dark because I need this hunt. And
I can't do an Aaron Taylor Johnson voice.
Aaron Taylor Johnson didn't even use a Russian voice though.
That is true. He did not.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do it.
Russell Crowe did more Russian voice.
Let me try to do a Russell Crowe Russian voice. Hang on. Let me try to do. We are staying in the dark. How's that?
I don't think that was Russell Crowe.
No.
Let's just stop.
Okay.
Let's move on.
I'll stop.
Let's move on.
But all right, so I gave Russians. That's cheers. Or
yes, cheers, bro.
So Predator versus Spider-Man number 3. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I'm still recommending picking it up, but whatever. And then you gave it a 3 out of 5.
I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because I can see it being to the point where it's like, what more else besides the fact that it felt sped through at the same time? It's like, okay, you coming, you know what you're coming for. You came for Spider-Man interacting with Predators, and you get that. So
all right, guys, we are moving on to the next one, which is Absolute Wonder Woman number 9. Wonder Woman. All right, Absolute Wonder Woman number 9. This one, it opens up immediately after the last one left off, where these little robots are emitting the same noise that the tetrahedron, the monster from the beginning, the monster from the beginning, thus emitting a low frequency version of the monster's cry that caused everybody to go insane. And Wonder Woman confronts Dr. Poison, tries to figure out what's going on, gets a location of a possible Amazon sighting, and then it goes off on kind of like she's explaining a lot of things to her supporting cast. They're asking her a lot of questions, and she's answering them, but it's very matter of fact. It doesn't really delve too much into it until somebody asks her, "Well, what about this?" And it felt kind of robotic, but at the same time, the scenes were advancing on their own, so that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. And then she changes scenery, where Wonder Woman, just as headstrong as the main incarnation, where she sees that something that needs to be done, and what?
We don't have Sonic in there, do we?
We don't.
Where's Sonic?
Oh my gosh,
we read it.
I didn't read it.
Oh,
I did not read Sonic. I have it up there. Oh my gosh, we did not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still at 8.
Still at 8.
What didn't? Okay, yeah, we did not do Sonic. We can do a short for Sonic.
Okay.
Right, that's how.
'Cause
That's how
that
special
one was
it is.
like I like that one.
Yeah.
That one was nice. It was very nice.
Okay, back to Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman number 9. Just as headstrong as her 616, as her main DC Universe counterpart, where everybody's just cautioning her, "Hey, we got to get some information. Come on, please. You can't just jump in head first." And she's just like, "Nope, I got to do this." Basically the same thing, except this time she has the magic of Cersei. She has the Nemesis lasso, all that stuff. So she's kitted out,
Yes.
and along the way, she meets a possible ally while also discovering that there may not be an Amazon where they want it to be.
Everything may not be what it looks like or what she was told.
Exactly. And so the characterization in here, I didn't really see a whole lot of character development aside from Barbara Minerva. The I don't know if she's going to become this version of Cheetah or the absolute version
I
of
feel
Cheetah.
like she will at some point.
But I don't know. We'll
At
see.
some
We'll see
point
what happens
she'll
there.
be Cheetah. I believe that she's gonna be Cheetah at some point. Just maybe not right now.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm totally there for this one. I'm excited to see where the next or issue 10 comes from. This is a new introduction to a new character named Clea, Queen Clea, and also Ferdinand, who is a Minotaur. So that's kind of cool too. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 because I just we get back to form pretty much. We hit the ground running, and it kind of doesn't let up. There's a pretty good little fight scene in here, and the whole misunderstanding, the typical superhero misunderstanding, is quickly like tossed aside. So I kind of dislike when they do that, when they do the whole superhero misunderstanding thing. And yeah, so I kind of like how quickly it was just like pushed to the side.
I enjoyed it. Still positive 3 out of 5 for me. Like not necessarily at the 4 yet, but it was nice. I enjoyed it. Touch it, get a little bit of like Wonder Woman being Wonder Woman and her like more touching side, with the little conversation she has with is it Doctor? We have a PhD, Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison, yeah, with Dr. Poison, where they talk about like, hey, you're so kind actually, but you just like took off, like you're actually really kind, but yet you were like going after that monster at the beginning. Why? Like it was destroying stuff, and Wonder Woman's just hitting him with that like, hey, it's not his fault. It was doing what it was supposed to do, but what it was born to do, what it was bred for, what it knew, and I just couldn't let it do that. And so like you get a little bit more touching stuff like that. It's nice. So 3 out of 5 for me. Still nice.
All right. The Absolute Wonder Woman number 9. I gave it a 4 out of 5. You gave it 3 out of 5. All right, we're gonna move on to what is this? Spider-Man Wolverine.
Yeah.
So this one right here, there is almost
knockout drag out issue.
There is almost no storyline advancement in here whatsoever. But here's the thing: this comic doesn't try to be more than it is. It is a team up / versus romp with Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Yes.
And it accomplishes what it sets out to accomplish. It has Spider-Man pretty much just taking the gloves off and just beating the ever-loving crap out of Wolverine.
He broke his jaw for a second.
He broke his jaw and caused him to go feral.
Adamantium jaw.
And Wolverine somehow is the voice of reason here, and he's just trying to get Spider-Man to calm down until the point where he's just like so brain damaged from getting hit with Spider-Man that he just can't function aside from I'm going to kill that guy. The artwork in here, very good, very, very clean lines and stuff like that. I know I'm kind of on the fence about Kari Andrews' artwork, but this one right here, it works. I love it. Spider-Man's motivation, if you read the first issue, you'll know why he's going ham on Wolverine. And Wolverine's trying to spout some knowledge.
Explanation.
Some explanation.
It's not that good of one.
It's
though.
not.
Like I was still there being all like, I don't care, take him down, Spidey. Which in my heart, in me, I think Spider-Man could have ended this fight a lot quicker. But you know,
Yeah.
I get you gotta advance the story. You can't just have Spider-Man like one punching down to Wolverine. But I'm gonna go on record and be one of those guys that says like, if an actual fight, Spider-Man would mollywop Wolverine.
In an actual fight, I'm pretty sure 616 Pete would knock everybody's bell.
I think there's only like a handful of people that he wouldn't just mollywop.
So there's actually a scene in Superior Spider-Man which is a story arc where Doc Ock had taken over Spider-Man's body, and in it he was influenced by Spider-Man's memories to be more heroic, but at the same time still pretty ruthless. The first time he went up against another superhero or supered individual, I guess, he punched him so hard he put him in the hospital with one hit. And while he's thinking to himself, while he realizes that, dude, he was playing with kid gloves the entire time, and if he wanted to, he really could have knocked Doc Ock's head clean off his body. And the thing was, Otto in Spider-Man's body didn't even hit him that hard, according to him. So, like, he just basically just like, and he just put him.
From what I gathered in that one, Otto hit him as hard as Otto would have hit anybody else if he was just himself. So he still didn't know how strong Spider-Man was, but even then, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I could go even harder." And it just basically reminded me of the Kung Pao scene where he punches a hole in his chest. He's like, "Oh my gosh, how did you do that?" He's got like organs and things, right? But yes, like this one is tremendous. It's the knockout drag out issue. Like it's directly. I know we say that a lot, but it does pick up directly where the last one ended.
Like mid punch.
The last one ended with him being all like with Spider-Man looking at Wolverine, just like you, and going for the punch. The first panel of this one is the punch pretty much connected. So it's like,
and then like you turn one page and bam, splash page across 2 pages.
Full art.
It's amazing.
Beautiful.
I loved it.
Art in this.
Yes. So this one I gave a 4 out of 5 too.
I will give a 4 out of 5.
If you want action, if you want to see Spider-Man versus Wolverine, this is your comic. And damn it, it's a good comic.
Yeah, like I give it a 4 out of 5 because of the fact you take into account the way the first one ended. This one is straight up just like whoever's like the team in charge of this was like, we teased them with the fight. We basically Godzilla'd them. We had the 2014 Godzilla. We basically 2014 Godzilla'd them, where we showed them the fight about to take place, and then we ended it. We could show like 2 or 3 panels of this fight and then continue the story, or we give them the sexy bacon and nothing but a fight issue, and that's basically what this is.
The entire issue is the sexy bacon.
Yes, the entire issue is the sexy bacon, because they are like, we might have some people that are like, hey, in a comic titled Superman and Wolverine fight to the Spider-Man and Wolverine fight to the death. We need to have a pretty good fight at some point, so they just have a fight. And I'm pretty sure in the next issue we'll probably get a little bit more. They'll calm him down, but at the same time too, especially for why Spider-Man's going after him.
Totally understandable.
I would have been upset if there was just like a 3-panel fight and then he gets calmed down.
Oh man, yeah, I would have been like the revelation at the end of one, leading to only like a few panels of fighting. That would have been annoying.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so this
really
being like a whole issue, like. Even though there isn't much advancement of the plot, at the same time, I'm all like, I understand. This is understandable why you did that. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, and a lot of y'all guys are knowing. Well, why did you not enjoy Predator versus Spider-Man as much as this one? Well, Predator versus Spider-Man has Predator versus Spider-Man. We want to see more of it. We like if an entire issue was dedicated to Predator versus Spider-Man, like actually fighting. Heck yeah, it would have been higher up on our list.
Yeah.
And we don't really have a blanket, okay, this ticks this box, this ticks this box. Because each story is different, each publisher is different, each writing team, each creator team is different. So you kind of have to grade them on their own merits. And I know it's a little confusing. Well, what about this one? Well, we're just two guys that are just we're fans of the entire genre, and if we think that someone else will enjoy it, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But if we think that you won't enjoy it, or based on us, like I don't know, I'll tell you too.
Yeah.
Like Batman Hush, I think it's overrated. Hush 2, I mean.
That's not that surprising because like basically the entire comic internet is saying that Hush 2 is a letdown.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I still enjoy it. I still enjoy Hush 2.
Just don't read the words and look at the pretty pictures.
The pictures, bro.
Yeah,
pictures.
The pretty pictures. All right, guys. That was Spider-Man Wolverine number 2. I gave it 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 as well.
4 out of 5. Definitely worth picking up. Moving on to...
and I would just like to say, like, the DC, like, this is what we got, right? DC history. The new history of DC.
The new history of the DC Universe.
The new history of the DC Universe. I would just like to say, if we didn't have a brain fart and somehow, sadly, leave out the Sonic comic, this would not be top 3. I don't know. I haven't read DC Sonic. I enjoyed it, dude.
Yeah,
it's basically...
I have so many of the trade paperbacks coming.
Like, this new issue of it is basically what was happening while Sonic and everyone's on our world. This new issue is
what the Justice League is up to. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It's nice stuff. The interaction between there. Nice.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna read it because I got a couple that they're not going to come until the weekend, so I'm going to read one of theirs.
But just since it does look like the next issue is going to be the last one in that one.
Yeah, it is supposed to be a 5-issue miniseries. So this one right here, the new history of the DC Universe, Dan Mora variant. I love Dan Mora's artwork. Look at that. It's so pretty. Oh, no. Godzilla wanted to look. Look at that, buddy. All right, so yeah, definitely a good one. It is nothing but narrative.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna pull the wool over your eyes. It is a narrative by Barry Allen, who used to be the Flash.
Yep, he's retired. He's in his
after the Absolute Power cross Maxi event or whatever it's called. After that, Barry lost his powers, and now he's basically just the super-powered historian after he retired from being a speedster.
Chilling in a room with a bunch of memorabilia.
Oh, yeah, dude, I spent like 10 minutes looking at that page, and like, oh, I know that one. That was pretty cool. But it basically starts off with, my name is Barry Allen, and I used to be the fastest man alive.
Yes.
And because of that, the entire thing, the entire narrative, in my mind, was being voiced by Grant Gustin.
Yeah. In his mind, not saying it's a bad thing, like, because I like Grant as a Flash. So far, he's honestly been the best live-action Flash. Which I know there's only like 3 to choose from, but still, that's 3.
No, there's 4.
What was the other one?
The dude from Smallville. He played Wally.
He wasn't even Wally. He was Bart.
Was he Bart?
Yeah, he was Bart. He had the ID. Had the fake IDs of all the other Flashes, but he was Bart.
Right. You're right. I thought he was. I couldn't remember.
There's only been 3 Barrys.
Okay.
And Ezra was the worst.
I'm just the running man. Oh my god!
Even though I've never seen the 80s Flash. Even though I've never seen the 80s Flash.
I mean, it's 90s.
Oh,
it's 90s. It's 90s TV.
He was ripped as heck for a Flash. He was ripped as heck.
The costume was like super padded.
It's like, okay.
But then again, he's not a small dude.
That guy is not. That guy was
I forget his name. But yeah. Anyway, back to this one.
But yes.
So not gonna tell you anything crazy about it. It is the new narrative of the DC Universe after all of these crisis events have been happening the past few years, after all of these huge time travel anomalies. Barry is just going through history and figuring out what is going on, because some things aren't like he remembers, and he does not like.
He doesn't like his history to be all.
Yeah, he doesn't like history to be all timey-wimey.
Straight, and neither of us like that too. We like a good straight history, and he's finally being all like, this is really, I feel like, the issue of like DC just being like, okay guys, we know we've had like, they have like resetting universe stuff every like 4 years or so.
Oh yeah,
And this is really just them being all like, okay, let's give y'all something straight. This is what y'all need.
Pretty much, and it is nothing more than what we're telling you. It's the artwork is amazing. If you are interested in learning about where this new DC universe stands, this one is the one to pick up. You have explanations about where certain characters have been, why they're popping up now, backstories for backstories being reestablished for other characters that you might be interested in. Jonah Hex, Etrigan, all kinds of stuff like that. You get more information about in this continuity where the All-Star Squadron was, where the Justice Society of America was, where like why are these Justice Society people popping up now? Then they look young. Well, no, something's happening, and they explain that in here.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, man. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because as a starting point for any DC fan or any fan in general that wants to know the lay of the land, it's a perfect starting point. So yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I give it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. It's very nice. It gives you, it just sets everything up for you so nicely. Like this one is a lot of the, a lot of the B-list, C-list characters take center stage in this one.
Yes.
It gives you that one because like you don't even hit, I guess, kind of a spoiler. It ends on Krypton blowing up. So like next issue, I'm guessing, is we're probably gonna get history of like when Batman and Superman and all them come in. But this one is nice. So the fact that it gives you like the B-list, C-list people taking center stage, like the biggest names that I knew of were just simply when they touched on like Darkseid and all that for a little bit, Spectre for a bit. So,
and yeah, I didn't even know Spectre had a name, but in here you learn his name.
They give names to a lot of things that you're just like, wow,
and apparently Eclipso is his brother.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then they talk about they also talk about the Endless and the avatars of the universe and all that stuff. So it's really cool, cool stuff.
The only reason why I will give it a 4 out of 5, I gave it a 4 out of 5 and not a 5, might have to do with the fact that like I read it late at night, and just because, it's not a harp on it, but it's just like the history lessoning of it may have been the fact that, it was late, I was tired, I kind of got a little bit like, okay, all right, let's go fast, come on.
I don't care about this section.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's cool, Sergeant Rock is cool.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, and the Haunted Tank, apparently that's canon again. Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, like that's the only reason why I gave it down there is because I just needed to force myself awake. It very well could be a 5 out of 5. Just a little bit of biases coming in and being like 4 out of 5.
All right, guys. So that was the new history, the new history of the DC universe. 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, various reasons. We are going to be moving on to our runner-up to Comic of the Week.
Which, to be fair, this very well could be like.
Oh man, this.
Like
that's his. This is his Comic of the Week, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it shouldn't be Comic of the Week.
Boy got a
it's just I'm biased against the. I'm biased for my pick of the Comic of the Week.
It's his boy.
Yes, it's my boy. It's my boy.
A long time.
All right.
So that's why. But this one.
That is not to say that Ultimate Spider-Man number 18 is bad. I greatly enjoyed it.
Tremendous. But yes. Like you get Harry and Peter finally coming back together. Get their stuff going on. A little bit more diving into the craziness that is the Mysterios, and the ending on this one.
Okay, yeah, the ending on this one aligned Felicia more with her 616 part.
Yeah,
but damn, did you notice like it looked like she'd been crying?
Yeah, kind of.
So I don't know if that was on purpose or what.
Maybe, but still on the inside, I was all like, you don't deserve those tears.
My boy.
Those are pity tears, fake tears. Because, she does a guy dirty in this one.
Yeah, it's
very sad. As a bro, I wanted to reach through the panel pages and be like, it's okay, man. I wanted to go to fight for him. But, yes.
So, this one more of a setup before a huge encounter, huge fight. Before, like, basically it's the setup in the second act before the
Yeah.
huge conclusion at the third end.
Yeah, like
Fantastic artwork, fantastic plot points, everything like that. I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna stick with 4 out of 5 as well. Like coming back, like it's still fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's tremendous. It's spectacular. Where
The ultimate experience.
because like this is, it's basically like you're saying, it's the build up. I mean, it's like the end build up of the build
This
up.
is like right here, all right,
Yeah.
right here.
It's like the end build up of the build up. These past 2 issues, the Mysterios and Harry have been, starting some stuff, and this one is like it's right there at the end. It's like, all right, we know what we've done. We've started it, and now here we go. We're gonna get into it. Like I love it. The only thing that I'm kind of like, I will say, if you read the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, because of that, some of this, the ending, some of it might seem a little like, dang, like might be like, okay, they're in a tight spot, but it doesn't seem too bad just because if you've read Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion,
Yeah,
you kind of,
I think they should have released Incursion later.
yeah,
Than this issue because it kind of the timelines don't really
yeah,
add
the
up.
timelines is like, okay, yes, but still, it's very solid. 4 out of 5. Art tremendous as always, and just the ending, man. The ending,
Yeah,
ending
the
is sad.
betrayal.
Yes,
All right, so
betrayal.
so that was Ultimate Spider-Man number 18. 4 out of 5 across the board. And next up is my pick of the week, Mega Man.
We got to give the name of the show. We got to
the
let him have
fighting
his
robot.
guys sometimes. Can't always be Spider-Man.
The fighting robot is back. Mega Man Timelines is going to be a series of one-shots. Each different one is associated with a different incarnation of Mega Man. The first one that came out is going to be... the first one that came out follows Rock. First up, I friggin' love Mega Man, okay? I can acknowledge when there is not a good Mega Man property. Mega Man Fully Charged sucks. The comic sucks. Mega Man Timelines is very good. It starts off with basically a couple of robot masters calling out Mega Man to come out and play, pretty much. And once it's there, it's on site. There's explosions, there's fighting, there's like basically it's an entire issue dedicated to fighting, but also it kind of has a kind of a hard-hitting message because the main one that he's fighting, Blast Man, basically just made a bunch of bombers out of innocent robots, and the other robot master that's teamed up with him is like, whoa, I did not agree to this thing. Like, you got to stop. And Blast Man just, he don't care.
He's blasted.
Yeah, he's blasting away. And then he came in and started blasting. And then Mega Man, in true fashion, is just the BAMF. He comes in, he starts changing gears, literally. He starts just taking him down. Rush is there. I always love playing with Rush on any of the levels. It's amazing, especially in the ones where he becomes the armor. That's pretty awesome too. But in here, when he takes on Blast Man, the other robot master is like, I didn't sign up for this, and basically tries to stop things. Big mistake because it didn't work. But yes, and it gets very kind of gets a little hard to read because, oh my gosh, it kind of gets pretty sad. Like, it gets a little dark, especially for a Mega Man. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Now, I know I gave you've heard me give 5 out of 5s to like one or two other ones here. And why is this one my pick of the week? I can reread this like all day long, and I will love every second of it. And it's amazing to me. I love it. Right. So that's right. That's why I picked this one for my comic. I just
quality. I will say.
Oh my gosh! Yes. and this is a cover A, and the cardstock feels amazing.
Tremendous
yes, it
quality.
is the physical quality is amazing.
You know, we appreciate good page quality.
We really do.
Yes, it feels so nice to be
Yes.
able to. It makes me feel whenever the reason why I love page quality so much is I watched a lot of movies like The Mummy and Indiana Jones and all that, and you get like old books in there, and so that crisp like page turn, it just feels so nice. So whenever
Really
I read
does.
something like that, it makes me feel like I'm reading something very majestic.
I'm right there with you, man. I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, so Mega Man Time. The confusing part on here is how all of these are marketed as a one shot.
But it kind of had like a to be continued.
But at the end, it did say to be continued. So I don't know if they're going to be making more Mega Man Rock comics later on, or like, and this is just them trying to see how popular it is, I guess. But
Or
yeah, I don't.
maybe maybe somehow they tie in the whole like maybe it's
Like an overarching story
like an
arc?
overarching thing, like what was the Bomberman? Is that what you said? What was it?
Bomberman?
The guy that's making all the bombs.
Oh, that was Blastman.
Blastman, like because
I don't know the other one.
He didn't get Blastman at the end of this comic.
No, he didn't,
Blastman
like-
gets away.
Yeah.
So maybe since it's like different time periods and all that, maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, Blastman shows up again when he's this.
yeah,
And
maybe.
maybe that's how they kind of connected. Or like you said too, maybe it's like, okay,
Like each of these is like a pilot program or
yeah,
something.
like basically a pilot program where they're like, all right, possibly to be continued. It could be like, I guess I can't really say that anymore because technically we got a sequel, but it could be, maybe it just ends up being like a history of the world type thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You got a trailer.
History of the World Part 1.
Yeah. But
So
you-
technically,
yeah.
we did get a sequel.
yeah, technically part
It's
2
not
did
that
finally come
good.
out, but yeah, it's not that good. But like I've said before on our movie one, I don't give him a full pass, but I do. It's like, oh, okay, Mel Brooks, because
The,
he did have
the
the thing
world
where-
has moved on.
he did have a thing where he was all like, they offered me too much money.
I'd be there. I'd do that too. they offered me. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Money. All right, guys. That about does it for ours. The sub Mega Man timelines 4 out of 5 across the board.
Across the board.
We talked about pretty much. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yes,
We're probably going to do a
Superman
short
tremendous.
today or tomorrow about DC Sonic. But yes, we had some fun, read some stuff. If you'd like the Ranting and Raving 2 Mad Men, go ahead and give us a like, follow, share us with friends, and we will see you guys next time. Later.
Peace.